Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. It's February the 9th, 2018. My email is rick0327@me.com. And let me see if we get this microphone going here. Okay. Maybe not. There we go. It's important to listen and important to pay attention to details all the time. All right, it's good practice in life as well. All right, and what we're doing here with my paperwork is we're paying attention to the details and we're holding our feet to the fire. All right, what my paperwork does is we are creating a paper trail. All right. Now, again, I get some people that send me emails, and I'm sorry, guys. I keep harping on emails, but that's how I communicate with people. Okay. I don't do the phone stuff. I don't speak on the phone. Okay. I'm sorry, but that's my policy, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. But some people, I get the impression they're like, well, I need to see proof that this is going to work. I cannot give you proof that it's going to work. Right? There's a burglary company or a credit company that protects your identity. They don't give you any guarantees because we're dealing with people that don't follow the law. So how can I give you a guarantee that it's going to work? I cannot. All right? Trust me, if I was able to give you a guarantee, I'd be on television doing commercials. I'd be a millionaire right now. Okay? I'd have somebody else doing the work while I'm chilling out in the Bahamas somewhere or some other country where some rich people hang out. All right? There are no guarantees. All I can do is put you in a position to win. That's all I can do. And I have, people succeed from time to time. All right? And I'm busy today. I got a lot of running around to do, so that's why sometimes you see me do the videos in my car. It's not because I like to see myself in the videos, all right? There's a reason why I do this, all right? One, I'm not afraid to put my face on the camera to show you guys that I'm a real man. I'm not a person. I'm a man. All right. There's a lot of people out there that are afraid to put their face in the camera, back up what they say. Also, I put my name out there. All right. I don't know how bright that is, but that's what I do. All right. So this is like me having a conversation with you guys and gals. All right. Whenever I say guys, it's unisex. All right. But what it is that I had a guy yesterday reach out to me, and one of the details that we're doing, what I have you guys do when you get the paperwork, is I have you guys send a validation of debt to the child support agency. And because my paperwork from last year to this year is always evolving because I change it as we get responses from the child support agencies. Like when they, they'll give their usual, bullshit response. Well, and what they do is they'll cite some lower court decision in their state that claims that child support is some type of special debt. Okay? A debt is a debt. All right? And being that child support law is a federal law, which means it's interstate, it's a commercial debt, you see? But, when we send the validation, especially here in New York, oh my God, the people in child support here are some of the most crooked people I've ever met in my life. I haven't met them, but people I've dealt with. Some of the most crooked people I ever ran into. All right, if I was still wearing a uniform, dealing with these people, I'd have no problem putting handcuffs on them. No problem, because I could easily articulate probable cause. That's how blatant their actions are. Because they're notorious for passing on misinformation and saying, making false statements as if they're facts when they're not. There's this one guy up in New York City, works for a child support agency. He's an attorney, and because I help so many people, obviously I'm going to help people in New York as well. And I've seen this guy's name a handful of times, and he responds to everybody the same way. It's the same letter. So what I did was, I fashioned a letter, the validation letter, affidavit, just for this guy. And he does the old the Federal Debt Collection Practices Act, we don't have to validate that debt, because it's like child support is some special debt where it's the only debt, all right, in the free world that does not have to be validated. Where in the free world, any debt has to be validated. A debt is a contract, and a contract requires two consenting parties. Now, there's all kinds of trickery with inducement, as my man Amin Osiris covered. There's all kinds of little tricks like that. But for them, as far as we're concerned, we're gonna stick with the consent. And so I changed the affidavit, and I even put in there, please don't respond with some prefabricated written response claiming that Federal Debt Collection Practices Act is not just whatever. It doesn't have to be validated. Whatever I wrote, and he still responds the same way. All right. So, with that in mind, when I'm just dealing with a person like that, how can I give you a guarantee? All I can do is put you in a position that you sent the guy the letter. I told the guy the other day, he's like, I went to court and I got embarrassed. And he's a good guy. And I'm like, dude, you got nothing to be embarrassed about. All right? What we're doing is, who knows? Maybe, if we keep waking up enough people, all right? Myself, Amin Osiris, the Liquid Theory, Fifi, it's me, Fatima, and if I left anybody else, I apologize. But, if we wake up enough people, who knows? Maybe a few years down the road, we might be helping people to, that they won't have to suffer such as this. All right? But, trust me, they're well aware of what we're doing. All right? But what we're trying to do is I'm trying to put you in a position where there's a paper trail that you did your part. You said, I need to see the proof of the debt. And another thing they do is it's like this. It's like circular law. All right. What it is that you go to the child support agency. The child support agency says, well, it's not a debt. It's a court-ordered debt. All right. But then you go to the court, and the court says it's a child support debt. Here's the way it's supposed to go. The child support agency, all right, and a lot of you are dealing with this. They're the petitioner in a lot of cases. They don't do that here in New York. They do, but they don't do it most of the time. New York is on the cutting edge of criminal behavior in the courts. Okay, they're on the cutting edge. They're on the cutting edge. They're paving the way for criminal acts in courts throughout the country. My opinion of my dealing with them. All right, and what they do is they don't have like the child support agency as the petitioner. They get the mother signed over her support rights, which is, I still understand what that is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't see how it's legal. And that means that the child support agency as the petitioner or plaintiff, same thing basically, had to present to the court at some time proof of a debt. You understand? In order for the court to issue an order for a debt for child support, somebody had to show the court at some time evidence of a debt, evidence of an undertaking, where you and the child support agency came to an agreement and they're like, listen, you owe us this much money, we want you to pay this much money, and you stuck your hand out, you shook their hand, or you signed an agreement, signed an undertaking. Okay? I said this the other day in a video, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? And in the child support world, it's like, well, you go to the child support agency, as I said before, the court ordered the debt. And then you go to the court, and the court says that the child support agency, it's one of those deals. So that's what we're doing right now. Now, by sending the validation of debt, one of my subs emailed me yesterday, and a few minutes ago, before I went off in this tangent, I was trying to tell you that I'm busy. I couldn't get behind the computer, and I will. I'll show it to you guys. He stuck to this plan, all right? And he stuck to the plan that he kept demanding to see proof of a debt. And he threatened to file writ of mandamus. And he lives in Iowa. His name is Mike. He lives in Iowa. And the supposed debt is from Louisiana. So that means Iowa is enforcing the debt for Louisiana. So Mike stuck with the valid, where's the proof of the debt? Never gave up. Well, he got in the mail yesterday, 3 pieces of paper, and the Louisiana is no longer enforcing the debt. And they're issuing a termination of income withholding. All right? So there's proof right there that the theory of validating the debt is it works if you just keep forcing it. That's how I ended up doing the writ of mandamus. Because again, it's not always going to be this successful, because maybe he's actually dealing with people that actually have some type of moral code. All right. So the next step, let's say, and a couple other people have done videos in the past where they threaten a writ of mandamus, and they called up and made a deal or whatever. Those of you that are new to my channel, a writ of mandamus is you're taking the child support agency to court, demanding that they show proof of the debt and proof of a court order. Okay, not the bullshit child support order. Okay, and not the income withholding order is not the child support order. All right, that's when when the validation of debt is not meeting, it's not hitting its mark, or they're refusing to comply with the lawful request of the debt collector collecting the debt, showing proof of the debt. You understand? And that's again, all I can do is put you in a position to win. You're only responsible for the effort. You're not responsible for the response all the time. So sadly, All right? If you were, we'd have a lot more victories, okay? But we got to keep holding their feet to the fire, okay? That's, I told you earlier, one of my guys was like, oh, I went to court, and listen, this happened to me. All I do is watch a couple of my videos where I'm in court. They did the same thing to me. And here I am doing videos telling you guys what you should do and shouldn't do. So it happened to me. It's not like it's infallible. You're going to come across one of these fake non-judicial persons, like in New York, the sport magistrate. They just bully you. They just ignore you. Happened to me. There's nothing you could do. Then, down the road, you're going to have to do something else. You're going to just, sue them. All right? You're going to have to sue these people possibly. All right? And if you get the paperwork right and you create a paper trail, all right, again, you're only responsible for the effort. But if you do everything right, you could put yourself in a position to even win in a federal lawsuit down the road. Okay? Because now we have actual proof that there is, criminal acts, fraud. All right? Actual proof of giving out misinformation, issuing a forgery, which is, a fake support order that's not signed by a judge, but it's signed by a fake judge. And the Supreme Court in Burnham versus Superior Court, BURNHAM verse V Superior Court. Google it and you'll read it. I ran across this gem, I think in May or June, and that was one of and again, I don't know how I find these things sometimes. I believe I'm being guided sometimes. I believe that stuff. All right? And the Supreme Court says that a judgment issued by a person, not a judge, coram non judice, Latin, is void for lack of jurisdiction. Okay? All right, so I'm going to end the video right there. All right? Hope you guys like my new 7-Eleven $11 glasses. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye.